Hello, I'm Ann Howe, and this is my story. Why did I come to UUFR? Because I was a long-time UU. How did I become a UU? I'll tell you. 60 years ago, when we were a young family, my husband and I were active in the Presbyterian Church in Virginia. Then we moved to a college town in upstate New York and began attending the Presbyterian Church there. We loved the minister's sermons. They addressed issues and ideas that were very important to us. But after a few weeks, a new minister took the pulpit, and we were very disappointed in his sermons. We asked around and found out that the previous minister was temporarily filling in, and he was not a Presbyterian at all, but the dean of a Universalist Theological Seminary in a nearby town, where there was also a Universalist Church. We visited there on the following Sunday and knew right away we had found the church for us. 5 years later, my husband left his career as a chemistry professor, went to theological school, became a Unitarian Universalist minister. The denominations had merged by then, and I became a minister's wife. When we moved to North Carolina 25 years later, I was in Raleigh at NC State, and my husband was in Wilmington serving the UU church there. I joined UUFR, which then met in what is now Peace Hall, and was no longer seen as a minister's wife, just a person. After 6 years, we moved to Maryland, but I maintained my UUFR membership until we returned 5 years later. And then I became active in the affairs of the fellowship, first on one committee, then on another, then on the board, and then as president of the fellowship and chairman of the board. That was a very exciting time for the fellowship, and exciting for me. While I was away, what is now Founders Hall had been built and was used for Sunday services with a plan to add a floor above to be a proper sanctuary. When I became president, much planning had already been done, and it was my job to set construction in motion. Gail and Bob Fitzgerald and Diane and Rand Irwin, among many others, worked tirelessly to bring to reality the beautiful building that we now share. At the same time, we had a very important event to celebrate, the 50th anniversary of the founding of the fellowship. For that occasion, we had a memorable dinner at which we honored the past and looked forward to the future. Although I am not now active in the affairs of the fellowship, it is still very important to me. One thing I have learned from the pandemic is that what I miss most from the Sunday service is not the sermon. You can imagine how many sermons I've heard, or even the music, which I love and enjoy. But the experience and the feeling of being with other people in a sacred space where I and they can forget the concerns of daily life, where I can think seriously about my life and make a resolve to try harder to live up to my ideals.